Brad Treliving, general manager of the Calgary Flames, the team announcing by way of a press release moments ago that the team and Treliving mutually agreed to part ways. So the Brad Treliving era as GM in Calgary is over.
Quitter.
Not a firing. Not a firing. He's a quitter. That's right.
Oh, okay.
And nobody likes a fucking quitter.
But we actually
I
like
remember
Brad,
Dennis. Remember Dennis Miller, the comedian? He was on SNL for a while. He did Monday Night Football. I remember one of the funniest things is, I think he was on, I don't know if it was Saturday Night Live or what it was, but it's like Cal Ripken Jr., who of course had the
Iron Man streak.
fucking Iron Man
Greatest
streak,
in
played
sport
forever.
ever.
Cal Ripken Jr. announced his retirement from Major League Baseball on Monday. Fucking quitter. It's like, yeah, that's exactly where I'd go with it. So Treliving is out after 9 seasons. I guess start there. Does it feel like, God, I remember sitting in the old studio 9 years ago. It was the old studio up in the Northeast.
Okay.
God. And that was the light after a very dark time at the end of Jay Feaster's run, if you remember. The trades,
the offer sheet,
the botched offer sheets, the missed playoffs, all of that. And Burke was in, made the move. Treliving was in. It really felt like this was the start of something new. And it was, obviously. They make the playoffs in his first season. So 9 years, 5 playoff appearances, 2 series wins, not including the Winnipeg play-in.
Right. It felt like it was every other year because it kind of almost was every other year.
Kind of almost was.
Yeah.
Yeah. They win the regular season division as far as Pacific Division is concerned. They win that one twice.
2 of the last 3 Pacific Divisions, I believe.
The best season under Treliving for the Flames last year. 50 wins, 111 points.
Second best season in franchise history.
Yeah. And then this year, which
was not the second best season in franchise history.
No. Kind of the other end. If you
know what, compared to expectations, yes. In terms of record, they've been way worse.
They've been way worse.
17th in the league.
So, and you know what? I'm glad that we did those. Did you do your Bob Munich?
I did.
Prediction.
Bob Germany had us writing in some. What do you think's going to happen?
Hey
with
guys,
the coach
for
and
flamesnation.ca, could you send you a thing here? Can you predict what's going to happen? What did you say about Treliving?
I said Monday they're going to have a mutual parting of. I said he might hang around.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
I kept coming back to the fact that there's only 32 of these jobs, and that while this might be a dysfunctional environment and things that he doesn't like about it, I think he'd love more autonomy. I don't think he handed out that Sutter extension. I think that's really changed the balance of power in the organization. I just thought there's only 32 of these. You work your way through it.
I think he's got a one-way ticket to Pittsburgh.
Well, so we were talking about what? Philadelphia's got Briere in there.
Well, Philadelphia, they, of course, Chuck Fletcher out, but Danny Briere is the interim. Late last week, they cleaned house. But if there was a guy who was maybe going to leave a little milk in the fridge, it'd be Berkey for Brad Treliving. Yeah. He would let the ownership know that if you're looking for somebody,
hired him once.
This guy's a great guy. I'm sure that he would have nothing but glowing things to say for Brad.
We talked about the roster. It's a difficult spot to come in because they are old and married to superstars, and as a result, don't have a lot of cap space nor a lot of prospect capital because you're in the spot where you trade your first a lot. You got Sid and Letang and Malkin. They missed the playoffs for the first time in 16 years. I don't think it's the most appetizing job, but again, if a team's looking for a GM, something's gone wrong. There's some issues, right?
And I feel like because this was the year they brought everybody back, right? In Pittsburgh. We didn't need to talk about Pittsburgh. And they not only did they not win, they missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
So there's going to have to be some.
First time since Sid's rookie year they missed.
Some real decisions, hard decisions to maybe not just the GM, but above. So where are you at on this news today, Red? Are you surprised? I don't think we can be just because of how the year went, but we can. I was going to say
I think it speaks to all the rumblings that were going on, things that we thought were happening. I think the contract was in front of him. I think it was his option to do. I think he had the interviews and he said, "To hell with this mess."
I wouldn't be surprised if when he got the word Daryl's coming back for sure that he said, well, this is untenable. It really felt like all season long there was a back and forth between the GM and coach in terms of, wrangling power, rather than it didn't feel like a duo working in concert together. Like, wow, these guys are in lockstep. Like, look he calls up the kid, he plays well. No, it was called up and wait for 2 or 3 weeks and maybe the coach will put him in. This was clearly two guys that weren't philosophically on the same page at times this year.
I'm not saying that, but I don't disagree with it.
Yeah, and you don't have to say it. I mean, we're going around the horn here. What were your thoughts, Dino?
I guess I am a little surprised, just because, like you say, at the end of the day, there's 32 jobs. Now, it's a small world, the old hockey world, right? Who knows what connections you have? There is, and to me, Pittsburgh, you kind of say it's not desirable. I don't know. I view that as that's a good job. I think there would be worse places in the NHL to land than in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Now we're putting the cart in front of the horse. I'm surprised. I guess I'm not shocked, because does it make sense? It absolutely makes sense, because the coach and the GM clearly weren't on the same page. I don't even, not to say they weren't speaking or they were fighting. It was the GM wanted one thing, and it's not a complete one's over here, the other's over here, but you could see that there was an appetite to put some younger players in, and the coach wasn't going that way. Not until late in the season, and by then it was too late. In some ways, remember we would have the homer, that's good, that's bad, that's good. So, no GM, that's bad. Well, the coach and the GM didn't get along, so maybe this is better. Well, that's good, but
the fructose has potassium sorbate. That's bad.
But if the coach now gets a GM who is in lockstep with him, I do worry a little bit about how this team is going to play, what it's going to look like, and where they go from here.